are much more like nippy. Like he'll use his teeth, but he's just like I don't know, like where it's like gummy kind of thing where he'll just put his teeth.
He'll sometimes do his pincers, so like I'll get his cheek a little bit and kind of like let him know, like just a little bit for like a little.
Or just like pinch the top.
Just so he knows like what it feels like.
I used to work at a dog daycare, or not the dog daycare. When I was working at a shelter, volunteering before that, that's what they teach us at the shelter. Because some of those dogs were like.
They go wild and they have no context in how
they're
hard they're
stuck in
biting.
cages all day like that too. Like out on the shelter, you're just gonna let them out on a walk. They get so crazy. You just gonna have to be like, you know.
You gotta. Yep. You're the one that has to tell them. They're not gonna learn.
And that is a very valuable lesson, guys. We are back this week with Caleb Wiedel. Wiedel.
You're getting closer.
Wide man.
Darkwood.
Darkwooden.
Oh! Alright. No, but on a real note, you're probably wondering, if you don't know already, who the fuck is Caleb?
Yeah, and also where are we?
Also, where the fuck are we?
I don't know where we are.
Actually, holy shit.
How did we get here?
Where the fuck?
This is cute ass dog here too.
There's a lot of things.
This is trippy as fuck. Yeah.
We are here, and somehow Caleb is also here. So perfect.
That's cool.
So to be here.
I've never met Caleb before. This is our first time officially meeting. Zach and him have a bit of a history. But anyway, aside from that, tell us a little bit about yourself. Just your basic Caleb info.
I work, even though we have COVID. I do the thing like everyone else. I'm a hardworking individual. I do music when I can. I like to throw shows. That has been happening a lot less, so we've all been trying to fill our time the best we can. But you know, I just that's what I got right now. Let's dig into it.
All right. Yeah. Let's start with work. Well, let's dig there.
Yeah. Let's dig.
And we'll get to the gold.
Ooh.
You know what
Gotta
I mean?
start at the top.
Closer and closer. We got little chunks there, but then the full vein.
That's true.
The ore.
You're right.
Anyway, let's start with work.
So I work at this ad agency called Unanimous. I develop websites for them. I've been doing that for the last 10 years. Not the place that I'm at now, but as a job in itself. I just figured out that I got $25,000 left in my debt. We're gonna get there. 35, we're gonna have it all knocked off. At 35, I'm gonna call it now. But man, yeah, that's actually one of my favorite, like, a lot of people don't like their fucking day job. I do. It's something new every day. It keeps my brain healthy.
So it's like a project you worked on? Because I have no
Let's see. It's actually funny because a couple of months ago, I got to redesign the website for the fucking, can I cuss?
Yeah.
Well,
if it gets excessive, we'll bleep.
I redesigned the website for the health clinic that I go to. I've had the same doctor, like the physician, for a long ass time, but I got to redo the website that he actually works at.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny too because the nurse, whoever would do the checkups and bring me in, take my height, blood pressure, all of that, she is actually married to the art director at my job. So I've actually been seeing her for like the last 15 years. She's always the first person I see, and then my doctor. Other than that, like I did a website for a van rental company, did a website for what are they called? A winery off of Ashland called Cellar 426.
I heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Stuff, yeah.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty new, aren't they?
I'm not quite sure. I couldn't tell you if they are or not.
What is so do you have a job at headquarters? Do you go in to work on these projects?
I used to.
I
work, yeah. There's a side room that I work home from home most of the time, but if I get a little too over encumbered or I feel like too claustrophobic in my house, like I've been going to the mill, going to coffee shops. Boombox Social is a bar that just opened up that's ran by Kincaidor. I'll go down there sometimes, but yeah, just off of 16th and P Street. But like, it's really up to me to kind of change around my space if I need to, because like my boss, they just need.
As long as you have all of your equipment wherever you're at.
I just need a computer. That's all. And then if I'm in a pinch, I'll use the hotspot on my phone. But as long as I just get my shit done, like that's the biggest thing that they're worried about.
Yeah.
So it's been a newfound freedom to at least have it all in my hands and not needing to be at the office. When initially, like I love having separate spaces between doing my job and like my home life and doing music. but it's been kind of colliding a little bit here and there, and I haven't been too resistant to it in the past couple of weeks. So, yeah, man, I just gotta take it a day at a time. We're not going back anytime soon. We're probably not gonna go back to the office anytime this year. But then that opens up the question, like, do we need everyone at the office after all this? You know, there is so much trust to be given to all the employees. So it's almost like we might need to rethink if we need to have everyone there all the time.
Yeah, and speaking of this like newfound freedom that you're having like with your work life, like I feel like a lot of people are having this kind of an issue right now, you know, where they have all this extra time, extra freedom, being at work and but like having so much control over their workspace and their setting. Like, how do you deal with that, you know?
Man, I just kind of have to listen to what my body needs. I'll get up and, like, you know, half the time I'm in my underwear and I'll just go open it up the computer. I got to make sure I have a shirt on for my meetings on Monday. Or sometimes I just turn the camera off. As long as they hear my voice, I'll chime in. I'll do that. But it's like, you know, it's become really liquid. I don't have to, like, hurry and wake up and then take a shower, brush my teeth, get in my car, and then, you know, get something to eat and drive to my workplace. It's just kind of like here.
So it's been a whole new development of a new
schedule. It's been a whole, yeah. And I try to keep it really close to what it was before, just so like, you know, I go in 8:30, I get off at 5:30, and from there, like, I'll try to go out, like, if I'm here for 8 hours, I'll go out and do something outside, because it's like, one, it's summertime, I can't pass that up, and two, like, it'll give me, like, it's like a palate cleanser. So at least when I come back in, I can do whatever I want.
Definitely after 8 hours.
Yes, it sure does. Especially when you're here for months.
Yeah,
God knows how many more months to come.
Yeah,
My goodness.
This tour is not ending anytime soon. This tour that this thing is on.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a reverse tour, you know.
Yeah. It's an opposite tour. Everyone's.
It's intimidating.
It's different, but you know.
Well, we know where this tour started. That was cool. The first show was actually pretty sweet.
Yeah.
You think so?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I do remember quite fondly.
Yeah. That was.
It was quite the media explosion.
Are we talking about fish?
It's actually
pretty close.
It's funny because
essentially the same thing.
I think it was in March. We were supposed to have for a Black Magik show in March. We're supposed to have Tyro and Walter Wild come out, but they were the first. That was our first show that got affected by COVID, and they like 2 days before said, "Yo, we can't make it. Things are getting too bad." It's like, "Fuck! Well, like, what do we do?" But then we already had the date, so I thought, well, this is honestly going to be the last hurrah for a lot of people that if they want some sort of live music experience to have before everyone inevitably knows it's going to be, you know, they're going to be locked in for months. So we just decided to throw a pop-up show. It was like me and Zarkalor, Matt Autry, I think Ruger was there. It was pretty much anyone that I could call up within like 5 hours of notice. But it worked out pretty good, and like we're kind of in the same situation now where it's controversial to like have shows going, but because there's no major headliners, people still want something. So like I think the local scene is actually doing really good. It's just really hard to navigate that red tape where it's like, make sure you wear a mask or don't do it, don't spread the virus, because the United States in itself has been a big offender of like not having good leadership to really like nip this thing.
Oh, absolutely.
There are literal like statistical numbers behind us versus any other country.
Dude, and it just sucks, man. And I don't mean to take this into a political direction, but it's like everyone's saying like wear a mask, don't wear a mask. And the reason a lot of people don't is because we have been conditioned as woke beings over here to not trust your government. And it's a good health, it's good for the health of people to wear, but people are also afraid that, well, if they have these stipulations, these won't go away. Look what happened after 9/11 and you know, the things that stayed after that. So it's really, people are very cautious and like they don't know who to trust.
And there are people that are willing to be like, I would rather get sick and be in the hospital for 2 months than wear a mask, just based off of my beliefs and my rights. And like my feeling on the oppression of our the government putting on our rights themselves.
It's true, and it's not meant to. I try to look at it at putting on a mask doesn't take away your freedom. It's more of a courtesy deal. Like I can't make you. I'm not going to make you.
And
do
that
anything.
argument that it infringes upon our civil liberties, right? Of course, certain things might at some point. Never in the Constitution were our founding fathers like, yes, and if anybody ever tells you to fucking wear a mask, that's against the. You know, we are in different times, and I think for a collective non-spreading of a statistically time and time again lethal virus at some points, that precautions must be made. And if it's such a hassle as far as precautions go from viruses, man, as far as precautions go, that's about the simplest thing you can do is put a mask on. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, no one's asking you to sanitize your whole fucking house. No one's,
or like mandatory vaccine.
Yeah, like no one's making you go to a clinic 5 times a week.
Condoms are the same way, you know? It used to be like, you just hit it raw. And like, why am I getting sick? Why does my dick feel so funny? And then it's like, you know, you have that, and that drastically
put a mask
suppresses, you know? Exactly. You put a mask
on.
You know,
that's funny because
now some people still don't, and I'm not. I say no judgment, you know. But it's just
gotta be careful.
I'm gonna be the first. I'm a non-biased cheek. You know, I am. What am I? The right cheek? Yeah. You're the left cheek. I'm the right cheek.
You're the stage left cheek.
But
the right cheek.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I'm gonna say it here and now. If you go into large gatherings and don't wear a mask, like. Honestly, for now, like, fuck you. You know what I mean? And that's me. That's me and my honesty. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm cool with you not like with you. Okay, so we have to consider that not just the people that we're seeing are the only people that those people see, right? So we're like, oh, he's 22. I know, like. He's young or whatever. If he gets the virus, he'll go. Yeah, but what about his parents? What about his grandparents? What about this person who babysits? What about all these people that live? Yeah, what about all these people that lead separate lives, right? And so I have a job where I have to, when I do go in, I have to wear a mask, right? And that, I mean, I have coworkers that are like, oh man, you know this stuff. And for me, like, you know, I understand it. It sucks. You get hot at work sometimes, especially when you're moving around a lot. And it stinks, right? I'm not saying I like it, but I'm saying
that's the place that like people feel that it's more to do with the comfortability levels that people are now hindered a little bit more.
Even where they're like, especially work where people's comfortability levels are already hindered.
And that's like at my workplace, and that's a big reason. Like, and I feel like I'm part of the problem, but it's just there's a lot of stipulations that if workplaces are to open up, some of them have to abide by certain guidelines to make sure that they are safe for employees to then operate there on a daily basis, right? It's either everyone has to be in their own office, and you know it's hard for us because we have an open layout and we have like 4 developers. Well, it's not even that. We have tables that are joined together. We have like developers over here, graphic designers. So it's like we're all just in a big open room, you know. And then I think the stipulation is to make it so everyone's separate or has some sort of container deal. And the whole, I guess the argument for our workplace is that are we going to force people to go in the office where it's going to be more uncomfortable, or do we just allow them to work from home at their own comfortability doing what they do? And that's just kind of where, you know, my workplace has sided on.
Well, and I see a lot of people like bringing up the argument where it's like there's these sicknesses that are getting brought up because of wearing masks for too long or different like I'm going to say conspiracy theories because I have a lot of family friends and friends of people that I know that work in the medical field, and these people work 12-hour shifts, you know, regularly, and will have their masks on 95% of the time.
Dude, yeah,
and they never ever have had any of these diseases or like conditions that people keep bringing up from wearing a mask long term.
And or like low oxygen.
Factually speaking, they are wearing masks longer than anybody on the face of the earth, going out doing their things. So it's just kind of funny to see people like finding these excuses or like reasons that make them feel better, like, oh, I don't have to wear my mask, when like it's immediately factually, you know, just canceled out because people have been doing these things for years and years and years, and it's just not possible.
It's oxygen deprivation. And I want to clarify something that I said earlier. When I said fuck you, I meant that, right? But like that doesn't mean right.
I love that you clarified that.
But that doesn't mean that I hate you. That doesn't mean that I dislike you. I mean, I tell Zach to fuck off. I say fuck you.
I say the same.
But I mean, that does mean fuck you. You know what I mean?
It's just crazy.
I think it's a good business practice, a good housekeeping technique for yourself, even to in this time go out and wear a mask.
Overall,
if you're going out. You know?
I think what it boils down
also, if you're in your car alone wearing a mask, you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I sometimes have to remind myself, oh, I can take it off.
Yes, I've done it a few times, but
unless you're an Uber driver, then I understand that.
That's your safe space.
I feel like it all boils down to, at least at this point, with what we're trying to do for one another, it boils down to looking out for your fellow human. Like every time it happens, every time
courtesy, right?
It's more so when I think about somebody not wearing a mask, or if I'm not wearing a mask, or if someone around me isn't, and we're out in public, and for some reason I were to get it and pass it off to my mom, who is like 65. Like that's unimaginable. And I think that thought in my mind of like maybe giving it to someone like that, like if more people thought about that, or even if it's not somebody in your own life, maybe you don't have anyone that's older, but think about the people that you know and who has family. It's just, you need to be cautious. That's really it. And look out for your fellow humans, because we all want to live. Nobody wants the virus. We want this tour to be over.
Yeah.
We want to go out and do things.
Well, and it stinks because socially, right, you go out and you are looking at people like they could potentially be a disease, which is weird. I mean, in my whole life, I mean, I've looked at people like they're a disease, but more like a brain thing, you know? Yeah. It's not been like, hey, you're a carrier of something that, you know, potentially, you know.
All right.
Yeah. And we're back. Thank you. We had a bit of a delay there for just a moment, but we want to get right back into it.
Now that we're back, though, and now that you guys have stood through that literal quarter of a second blip that we edited out, thank you for our commercial breaks. Now back to our commercial breaks. We would like to mention some sponsors real quick. Zach, would you like to mention some sponsors?
I would like to mention some sponsors. Okay, thank you.
All
right. Thank you, first of all, to Matsunami Corp.
Big
the
thank
CEO,
you.
Always providing us with all of the liquor beverages.
What's up?
Matsunami Corp.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you
to that.
Second sponsor, we want to thank Anchor, the platform we are using and also distribute every one of our podcasts on. Thank you to that. Great service. Awesome sponsor. And we also would like to plug our Teespring, because they are also our sponsor, with the teespring.com/store/the-branded-bus.
Super exciting new sponsor announcement as well.
Wow.
Yep. Raisin Cane's.
That's
we
not
got
it.
a Raisin Cane's
What?
sponsorship. Yep.
That's not it.
Yeah. And as you guys know, Target, McDonald's, Walmart. God, we have so much.
Petco?
No, not because I can't go to a Petco.
No, yeah, Pets R Us.
I'm not
I thought it was PetSmart.
PetSmart.
Walgreens, just the pharmacy section
Yeah.
sponsors us because of Zach's sponsors us, and so
It's all this. It's growing back.
and that's all of our sponsors.
Yeah, it
Awesome.
is.
Sweet.
Glad we made it through them.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
That was
a
a
lot.
lot.
That was riveting.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I don't at this time, but we'll get out there. I like to think Cool Whip.
and
They've been out for a long time.
Kroger sponsors Darkwood, and I can't get sued
Oh
for
my
saying
goodness.
that, even if it's
no,
false.
no. Denver has been really good to me.
And with that being said, we would like to transition into a fan favorite segment. You know it, you love it, you know what's coming up. It's the reason we have the towel on the table. Now, we will position ourselves into the segment we call Pour Something Onto Reese's Feet.
And you were never the wiser the whole time. It wasn't a tablecloth, you fucking idiots.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Well, Caleb, we will now cut, and Caleb will find the ingredient to put on Reese's feet.
Oh my god.
And we're back. Caleb
So-
has chosen the ingredients.
Caleb has hand-selected the ingredients. Would you like to introduce us to each ingredient?
Well, yeah.
So we'll start
I'll
with
give
this.
some context. I think we're gonna go for let's do this. Yeah. So this is some sweet chili sauce that I definitely got from Super Saver for
nice.
about $3.25.
Oh, shit,
It was
man.
on sale.
Okay.
It's been touched twice. And then as you can see, if we move down, we have some cottage cheese. This has been in the fridge for a couple of weeks. It still smells fine, but that's what we have to work with. We notice it's in a nice black bowl. And we have some black pepper. So what we're essentially making is a crab rangoon out of Reese's foot.
All right. Okay. And the crunch being what? The toenails or the bone?
Whatever
Or
comes
double
first.
surprise.
Yeah.
kind of?
Depends where you.
All right.
Depends where
So
you
this
eat
is
first.
our preparation mat.
Perfect.
We use a lot of similar mats in a lot of our videos. If you want to purchase one of these mats, it will have Boss Bliss on it, but you can purchase that
Yeah, at Teespring.
at
Yep,
Teespring.
you can get the exact.
also-
Perfect.
Also,
One way.
if Teespring's out, Matsunami Corp has thousands upon thousands of these.
Yeah, he's just waiting on
We
it.
over-ordered. We figured we would make probably about 1 million episodes in our lifetime, so we needed about 1 million mats.
It's true. It's true.
And
We're
these
on our way. We're on number 9.
and so these are official food-proof preparation mats. They're mostly for cooking. So
Especially
we're
on feet.
gonna get the marinade going, and we'll go from there. So
Perfect.
That sounds great to me. I think we should do this, then this, then this.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
So now I think we're gonna do it right there. 'Cause
Alright.
I am gonna be a little messy.
Perfect.
Okay.
Do we want to unfold another layer?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I can't. This is gonna.
And
this is
the
gonna
beautiful
roll.
thing about these mats.
actually believe this is one of the
Virtually
beaten towels that I left at
Yeah,
your house.
this is just a
Oh my
beaten
God.
towel.
This is my towel that I left at your house.
That's hilarious. All right, I'm ready when you guys are.
So I'm gonna go from my foot's gonna be right here. So give it a wave.
Yep. We are ready.
All right.
Here we go. Okay, we're gonna do with the base here. We're gonna probably start from the ankle, go all the way up. Yeah. Okay. Just nice and on there. That's probably feeling really good. That is a good,
So
good
fucked up.
sensation. Now make sure we.
Oh, it's in
shake
between
this
his
up a little bit.
toes.
So yeah, definitely always make sure to shake the bottle of chili sauce because it can tend to separate a
It
little bit.
can tend
and
to
it will-
separate.
And it will actually end
It'll-
up kind of messing with the flavor.
Yeah,
a
it
little
won't
bit.
layer properly
Yeah.
with the cottage
You gotta
cheese.
really
underneath.
make sure. Now let me tell you, I've had a sushi roll like this before, and it was to die for. I gotta tell you what. And then let's see. There we go.
Oh my God, Zach, do you wanna?
maybe not this time.
Zach, do you wanna put the marinade in though? You gotta rub it in.
Oh,
You have to rub the
Oh,
marinade
sorry.
in.
Let me move the bowl for you.
Here,
Let me just
there
get a
we
little
go.
more of this.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that's
Maybe a little
perfect.
bit more chili sauce too.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. Let me do the chili sauce
Here,
though.
yeah, we'll put some more chili
Okay.
sauce in.
All right. Let me just do a little on the top. A little on the top. There we go. This is what dreams are made of.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I'm so done with this.
That looks like what came out.
We are back, and for what you just witnessed, let me just tell you that it was by far worse for us here than it was for you in the camera. We had smells, tastes.
What you guys don't understand is
And
that
sounds.
smells really linger, and especially when
It's
they're
on
soaked
Reese's
into
foot.
skin, human skin. I don't know if you guys know this, but your skin is your biggest organ, and every week, every week I soak in a dirty concoction of
Hey man,
horrible things.
you're becoming one with the ingredients.
Yeah,
Slowly.
one of these days it's just gonna be arsenic and bleach.
Yeah.
Zach's gonna spoon
How
it
much
all
can we
my-
pour?
Yeah, it's just gonna be straight acetic acid.
Alright, I got some sulfuric acid.
Yeah.
One of our guests wanted to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't not.
Don't make the rules.
How volatile can we
Like,
make
oops.
Reese's foot?
Yeah, but the thing that one of the contentions, one of the rules is it has to be things from your fridge. So I don't want to be anywhere where somebody has sulfuric acid.
I
in
just
their
got
fridge.
some. It's
Oh,
chill.
well, it's a side.
Just
thing.
chilling.
It's not in my fridge though. Technically, it's in my deep freezer. Is that okay?
It's a box that keeps things cool.
Yeah.
You know,
We didn't ever really write a rule about that one.
and on that note, Caleb, Darkwood, like what?
Okay.
So yeah, we
Please,
said
we
that
want
at
to
the
hear
beginning.
about the music.
We said that at the beginning of the episode. What is dark wood, or wood dark wouldn't, as Zach would say.
Would or would not. The name actually came from, I think, my first time at Electric Forest. I used to go by Delwy, which is like my last name, flipped around, and I think it's like a rule that when you first start DJing, you have a shitty first name. Everyone just has, I've had one, my buddy, doesn't matter. Everyone goes through that, through that deal. But I think it's also knowing that I knew that I was getting into DJing, and I knew that wasn't going to be like where I stayed, you know, just like something to get immersed and to like figure it out. I went to Electric Forest, but then I was really perplexed that they have a very big contrast between, you have the daytime festival side where everyone's hanging out, you're trying to battle the sun, you have jam bands, then you have your nighttime atmosphere where you get like the bass coming in overdrive, you have the lights everywhere, and that was a big thing for me that I really had to come to terms with. Like, we all kind of have two sides. We have the side we push up during the day when we're like going to the store, we have to work at our job. Like, it's almost like a mask, like a front to then just blend in with what's going on around us. But at the nighttime, it's like, that's my fucking time.
Yeah.
I can do what the fuck I want.
Come on, all the way out.
True.
So it's like, and I'm a big Zelda fan, so I was trying to figure out like, you know, Forest Kid or things like that. But then I thought of like Dark Woods, because like that was the biggest thing that drew me to that festival. It drew me to the energy that like I so much felt in this scene. So I used to be in this band called Better Friend for a long time, and like people used to kept calling it Better Friends, but it's like it sounds a lot better if it's one Better Friend. So then I thought Darkwood, like okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. And it's something that I know that, like, because it seems so simple too, that has room to last, you know? But I've been holding on to that ever since, and it's been working out pretty good. And it's something too, like it has to roll off the tongue, and you have to be confident in saying it in front of people every time they ask.
True.
You know, and if it passes those tests, you got something good. And I think, that's kind of where we're here right now. And it's been, I don't know, this project probably lasted since 2016, maybe 17, but like it hasn't been until a couple years ago where it started to really take root and like blow up bigger than anything I've been a part of. Like even my bands, that's where it came from, and those are really fun to be a part of. But it kind of really, this endeavor musically has brought me to a lot more opportunities than I ever have had the opportunity to do in any project before in my life. So it's been really cool. It's been really neat, and I'm very thankful for everything that's happened and will continue to happen in the future.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I at least never would have thought of that as, that's such a cool origin story for your name.
Isn't it
Like
neat?
the feeling that you had in that dark wood, like those dark woods at Electric Forest, that's a lot. That's a lot to encapsulate in a feeling. And the fact that you were able to make such a simple name, encapsulating all that, and for it to be viable, like search engine optimization, like you'd be solid on there.
Yeah, and it's simple because it's just that compound word. It has so much more. It has so much more weight. When you have that context. I thought it was neat, so we're writing it out.
And also on top of that, I want to kind of follow up with another question. A lot of say I've bought the first shirt release that you did. I think it was probably 2017, 2016.
Yeah.
And that was kind of right before Black Magik was kind of becoming its own thing.
Yes.
And a lot, a lot of fruition, a lot of things I've seen come with you too is, with you kind of hosting your own shows, working with your own production company, and like you doing all that kind of stuff really kind of brought your name forward as you were doing your own thing as well. So where did that kind of come from? Tell us a little bit more about Black Magik.
Black Magik. So it seemed to me like the next step, like how I look at, especially like in the electronic music scene, you have your artists that like they're the new up and comer doing really well, but no one ever stays unless you're like doing that only. No one stays like in that spotlight forever, right? Other people come to the game, they're doing new things. There's new things for people to look at and experience, and I'm not the type of person to be like, you need to look at me all the time, I'm the best forever, it's just, that's not how it works, especially with like, if you go into major entertainment industry, like there are people that go in, they do their albums, they tour for a lot, and then the next couple of years, it's like, it's the next person, kind of just in and out right quick. So I've been thinking the idea, like, how do I keep myself relevant, but also how do I do this on a bigger scale and kind of do it next level where it's not just about me, right? Like this is the first time I've done a project where like it's just me, I used to be in bands, so it's like one of 5 or 4 or 6 people, and I'm just, there to be a part of
the guy that does the one thing.
The one thing in the whole machine, right? So now it's all the things. Yeah. But it's like, and like, is the next thing I thought to be what needed to happen was like start a label, start a collective. Start a group where people like me and like-minded, we have a name to stand behind, to then the effect we can almost then do events and certain things that are 10 times bigger than us individually, right? Because Black Magik is not just me, it's me and it's Oceans and Zarkalor and Odinson, and we have Ruger coming on the bill, we have Million Dollar Hippies, we have Trap Squad, we have all, and Cabby Cab, we have all these great people. But the thing is that if one of us does something good, it makes all of us look good, right? And especially, like, the next thing that we're doing is we're trying to also conjoin with more groups or production companies outside the state. We just went to Quad Cities, like, last weekend. And that went really good. That was our first time looking with them. Shout out to Dave Wynn. He was the one to help me bring that connect. But because we have a name that we all trust and we trust in, that makes it easier to connect, and that name goes a lot further than just one artist name, I thought of that idea like in August of 2018. I was actually I was on the way out of my job at the time. I was working as a user experience developer at Nebraska.gov, but I was actually like mocking up like a name for something. Like Black Magik really caught my ear, and there's like a Kill the Noise track, and I think there's someone else that has that as like a line inside one of their fucking songs. But it just like really seemed something that I want to turn this into an entity. Like this seemed like an entity that I knew could have great promise. And so I brought it up to my good friend Oceans, Derek Outson. He was one of the first people I brought it up to then figure out a plan of how we can make this into a thing, right? And I kind of had the groundwork laid out of what I want it to be, and he was the first one to help me out, like, how can we bring this, how can we give it content, how can we give it body, what can we do to make this into something that
bring it
people
into the
actually,
public, you know?
bring it into the public, exactly. And our first deal, the first thing we ever did was release his EP, because, you know, he makes tracks like a madman, like, way more than I do, you know, he has,
Mixing all the time.
he's doing, just
Constantly.
relentlessly.
Yep.
So we first released this EP to get something out there, to be like, this is the brainchild of what can be to come. And then it wasn't until that Halloween when we started talking to the Grove and we threw Halloween. That was our first show, October 2018. And that was probably, we profited the most off of that show. After that, we actually bought a mixer. We don't use that so much anymore. Because later we eventually invested in CDJs. But after that, it's always been like a one-up battle. Like, okay, what can we do now? And then we started to partner with Sioux City Sound Collective. We started to partner with Trap Entertainment. We started to partner with our friends in Des Moines. And then at that point, like, once you have a team, and this also, when Karma started to come at that point too. But then we had this awesome new venue that we could route all of our clientele, people to go to there, and we can still flex as being, that's when we started to become more production oriented. And we try to keep ourselves open to, we release records, we have artists, we do events, but we're trying not, we don't want to be known as we just do this, we just do this.
Exactly.
What we do is ever expanding depending on the need and what's going on. And we're still exploring the other things that we can be helpful to the scene and the community to this day. It's just been a little, it's weird and unsure of now what's going on, so we're trying our best to get on top of that. But yeah, in the last couple of years, like, it's just been blown up. Like, people,
definitely.
and I think that has to do with how professional we take it, and not that we're like very straight, prim, and proper, but me and Derek, like, we used to be in bands, we've been in music for like the last 10, 15 years, so we know like how to treat people, how things go, how to prep, how to set up, how to make,
the scene.
yeah, and how to just make an event go smoothly. Like, the more smooth that an event can go, the least headache you have, and the better it's gonna turn out, you know? So it's just been, I have never expected it to go as far as it did, but we are gonna keep pushing, and it's gonna even get bigger than it is now. And please stay tuned, because we have something next year that we're planning right now. I can't say too much about it, but we're doing big things, and we're really excited about the direction that we're going to
Caption
go.
alert, caption alert right here. Caption
2021.
alert. Big things alert.
Big things.
Things alert.
Big
So,
things are going to happen.
so this whole thing you guys kind of started as a collective, you know, just kind of bringing all your music together.
That's-
Ended up being a business, and you know, like all other businesses with all these, you know, the COVID going on more than anything, you're struggling like any other local business would be. But from what I've seen in the past,
is that
say,
Jankum that you're chugging on?
This is my own private supply at Jacob. You can see it's peach flavored.
Is it stale?
Well, it was originally
stale,
peach
try
flavored.
it. You want some?
Yeah, I'll take some.
Some stale Jankum? Wait, no. Is that steeped?
Oh, it's stale. Yeah, it's stale.
It's steeped?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's steeped.
I'll just
I don't want to
fermented
drink it. I just need a couple of.
in the whiff.
You
Hold on,
know
hold
what
on.
you got to do.
I learned this from a traveler. Hold on, check it out. Just do this.
Oh. Just to get the full
You
effect.
saw it here, folks. This is how you inhale your own excrement.
There we go. Let me just take a.
Woohoo, dude. You're getting that? Full. Wow. And he's held his composure this whole time.
Bruh.
Holy
It hasn't been
shit.
easy.
You know what?
Wow.
I think you should change your name from Darkwooden to Darkwood.
Like, he can do it.
You
He can do it.
You
It
saw
should
it
be
here
Darkwood.
first.
It should be Darkwood.
Hey, you know what? From this day forth, I think you should go by Darkwood.
You know, I think we're gonna have to go that direction. You guys really turned me around on that one.
Yes. Yeah, dude.
Between two cheeks, making dreams happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're squeezed enough between the two, you
just gotta comply
It's kind of a
eventually.
life or death. Yeah, it's like you really gotta like figure.
Eventually, you just
Eventually, you surrender to the void, and the void takes you. It's like a river.
Yeah.
I can't say no. I really can't.
Before we move on to our next featured segment, our usual game of King's Cup, I just want to say that the direction that Black Magik has gone and the way that you guys have utilized what you've been doing on all fronts has been an incredible inspiration to us as artists and what we want to do.
Appreciate that, man.
Like the people like you are the people that we look up to and want to have these conversations with, because we're inspired by what you do. You're doing the thing.
Sure,
and we want to also we want to do the thing in our own way.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's,
definitely.
It's so inspirational.
Yeah,
to see.
That means a lot. That means a lot. Thank you.
A huge thing as a side note that this show has accomplished for us personally as artists, because this is something we genuinely enjoy doing. And aside from creating like a clearer social connection to people that I admire, it has given us this space to actually get to know. And we were kind of talking about this before the show. We hope that this serves kind of as a tool to where you can get to know people that you might already know, you know? And for those of you that watch out of town, I think it's a huge impact on your own community to know more closely the producers, DJs, the performers that you really enjoy seeing. You know, you feel like they're it humanizes, it
really does.
I think your timing couldn't have been more perfect because there are people that are more shy to go out now, considering the effects of the world.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think you're even bringing it more to the forefront of people that would like to, but even in current situation, it is less of an opportunity for them to do that with everything going on. So
Absolutely.
I think you couldn't have picked a better time to do all this.
Well,
We appreciate
that
actually means a lot. That means so much.
Not you guys are doing good.
We are so excited. We do have a show coming up also on the 31st. Darkwood is playing, and it's a Black Magik event.
Yeah, that's. I'm surprised we haven't said anything about that.
Yeah.
Before we start our weekly game of King's Cup, the 31st at the Royal Grove in Lincoln, Nebraska. We have a super stacked lineup, so it's actually good timing that we came here.
Masks are required, and that might chase people away.
Masks are required.
But if you're like us,
but
we're starving. We need something.
Yeah, you need the base.
I'll do what I can.
It'll feel good. It'll feel good.
I'm gonna wear it.
And hey, you guys heard me earlier. I don't hate anybody that doesn't wear a mask, but like it's super cool if you do. You know what I mean? And that's what I was saying earlier. That's exactly what I said earlier.
Quick plug. I gotta do a quick plug.
Please
we
do.
will have Black Magik masks available at the venue.
He's plugging it.
I'm plugging it.
It's plugged.
$15 for a mask. We
That's
will
a
soon
price.
have them available at G&G in case you do miss them on the 31st. In Lincoln location
27th
right now.
and Randolph.
27th and Randolph. So keep that in mind in case you don't bring one, but
Yes.
we got
You
some
can get
for
them.
you.
You can get them, and they have the logo of an amazing group of people. And that's who you're coming to support anyway on the 31st, so you might as
Absolutely.
well support them even further.
Absolutely.
And be safe.
We do what we can.
I spent $12,000 of my unemployment money on Black Magik masks for this event, so I bought them out, and then they reordered. So
Perfect.
the ones that
Saw
are
like
left,
hotcakes.
get them before I do. You know what I'm saying?
Before you hoard them all.
Good luck.
On that note, we'll transition to the famous King's Cup segment. Would you like to split the deck, Caleb?
My goodness, I would love nothing more. Split that baby.
Did anybody shuffle the deck before we split it?
I did when it fell on the floor in the basement.
I was a witness.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did
All right.
happen.
Well,
guess
let's
first.
go ahead. So you know the rules of the game, sir.
You
Or
know,
do you need a little
refresh me and refresh them
so
because it's been a while since I blacked out in
So I'll
college.
start. 5 is guys, which
And-
means those of us that have a drink, everybody
Yep.
takes a drink.
And the way that this game works, for those viewers at home, we explain it every week, but this is important. You can also play along with us.
Absolutely.
Encouraged.
Yeah, very. So what you'll do is you will draw from a deck of cards, and then whatever number or face card it lands on, there is a corresponding action you must do. So as we just pulled 5 is guys. There's 4, which is floor. 7, which is heaven. There's a few different
6
ones.
is chicks.
Yep. And there's a lot of those. So yeah, you just put a card in, and then whoever ends up popping the top last with their card inserting, it pops the top. They have to drink the King's Cup.
And again, we encourage you to drink with us throughout
Yeah.
every podcast.
So just
There'll be a
drink
link
once a
up
week.
here for a list of what all the cards do.
Yep, there will be. Thank you, Seth.
Right here.
We appreciate you.
It'll be right here, and then it'll actually be covering their face right here. So it's going to sink down, and then it covers all the rules. Will cover their face. And so you just read them real quick.
Perfect.
Zach, point out the rules with me.
Yep.
So from here to here, these are all the King's Cup rules.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you, Seth. We
All right.
appreciate it. I know you hate us. Your go, Reece.
It was me.
So no, actually, it's your go.
Who went first?
I Reece did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Queen. Questions. I'll explain it. Questions, everything you have to say, it has to be formed in a sentence that ends in a question.
And for those of you that don't know, some cards are turn-based, where mine was turn-based, so 5 guys drink immediately. queen, this is an active card until somebody breaks it. So we actually move on with the game. But now, starting when Zach starts, everything has to be said or phrased as a question, and not just with a question mark at the end.
Do you want to go, Patrick?
I don't know, Reece, should I draw this card?
Do you think it's going to be a card that you want?
What card is it?
Do you know what it is?
What does an ace do, Reece?
Is an ace waterfall?
Do you think ace is a waterfall? Should we go with waterfall?
Do you think we should do a waterfall?
Yeah, I think we should do a waterfall. I'm about to drink anyways. Oh, jeez.
So waterfall.
If you guys have ever watched this, Patrick is the worst.
He's so bad at questions.
He always loses.
I will purposefully lose after
He
a point
hates it. He
because I'm
hates
just
it.
like,
Because after a while, it just seems stupid, and Patrick can't.
I'm just like, I just want to be punctual, and that's it.
All right.
So
You know waterfall?
Do you know what waterfall is?
Yeah, but I do.
You want the Jenga
need-
can?
you know, I'm gonna save this because this is almost like
It's
a dessert.
fermented.
Your
It's
high's
fermented.
wearing off.
It's true. I need to conserve. Okay.
You know how waterfall works? You can't stop
You're
until he does.
correct.
All right.
Yeah.
You can't stop yet, Zach.
It's done.
Yeah,
Finish the
good
beer.
part.
I think we stopped that at a good time.
Yeah, I believe so.
Ow. It's like I can see everybody bottoms up, so I was like, I better stop.
2 is you.
That means
But-
I drink.
But that
Oh.
means you pick somebody. 3 is me, which is you.
Oh, you're right.
Yep.
2, you just pick somebody.
So you get to choose.
I think Zach, you gotta drink.
I knew it.
I will take
I don't
it.
know how I knew it, man, but I just knew he wasn't gonna pick me.
You know, I'll take
That's
it.
the only thing I was sure of.
I
Because
think
there's
having
something
it
about the
explains the
person that's talking in close proximity. It's like he's doing a good job.
Yeah, he's
I can't
like-
put the
he's
attention
on
on
my
him
team.
again.
He's
yeah,
on my
like
team.
I have to
part of this
divert it.
one. Yeah.
You gotta spread the love.
Yeah,
Perfect.
dude, I don't like that limelight.
Your go.
I like lemon light.
I didn't like that.
Shut up. Jack.
Never have I
Have
ever.
I ever? And this game
Three or
tends to proceed, so we're gonna do 3.
3 is usually
Because
the
5.
easiest.
I'm gonna do the German 3 because it's easier to hold up fingers.
And actually, it makes
I have
more
to hold
sense.
these fingers together real tight to get all 3 of.
It makes
Yeah, it's
it makes no sense that we use these 3.
Oh, the
It should
German
be
3
1,
in
2, 3.
in Glorious Bastards when they found out that somebody was like the spy
Oh,
on
yeah,
the inside
because they
did this instead
Yeah,
of that. That was
instead of this.
brilliant.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, that was brilliant. The whole
Yeah.
writing. Quentin Tarantino, amazing.
You did a good job.
Oh,
Shout
and
out
we're
Quentin
sponsored.
Tarantino.
We're sponsored by Quentin Tarantino.
Quintanial Tarantula.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Sorry, I'm.
Yeah, Quintanial Tarantula.
I'm Brazilian.
I don't know what that means. All right.
Um.
So, your go, Reece? Did you? Just go? Oh, never
a
have
Jack.
I
So never have I ever.
Perfect.
I'm gonna say
You drew that, didn't you?
no. Never have I ever
Reece drew it.
jumped out of a plane. No
I've
one's
never
skydived
either.
yet?
No, I haven't skydived either.
God damn. Maybe that would get somebody.
Never have I ever effectively played the drums.
What does effectively mean?
Like not like.
Not for me to lower finger, apparently.
That's screwed up. He's trying to get both of us with one shot.
Never have I ever been to an eastern continent.
I have not. Never have I ever established a podcast.
That's
Oh,
Sneaky mother.
that's never been pulled before.
Never have I ever owned a shirt with roses on it.
Oh, you just wanted
That's-
me to drink.
I don't think
I got.
Oh, are you wearing a shirt with roses? Oh my god.
Did you not notice that?
No, I noticed his for sure. I did not see that you had a rose.
They
on.
call each other.
Wow.
Well, you got our side, and now I'm getting your side.
Hey.
I was like, damn, you really saw that?
Fine.
You have one shot. You can
never-
get Patrick out.
Never have I ever had dreadlocks.
Or me out.
Oh, man.
You called the
Never
roses
have
shirt.
I ever had the stinky beads.
Never have I ever had things poured on my feet.
You still would have lost. You still would have lost on that one.
Yep. So we finished. Cool.
Oh, let's tell the first. Perfect. We did the thing.
I'm out.
2. You, which means I'll say Reece. You weren't picked last time.
It's true.
Yeah, it's only the host that can get picked and drink.
Awesome.
Okay.
You guys watch Angry Video Game Nerd?
Yeah.
Dude,
Because
Oh, I watched him so far.
he loves Yes.
4.
Floor. So touch the floor. Last person to touch it.
Reece, you're drinking again, bud.
I just want to point out something, guys.
Oh, he's just showing off your family photos.
I just want to. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, you're drinking, bud.
That was my mom.
Shout out to shout out to Mrs. Wiedel. I drank. You don't know. It's just the last.
Do I still have to hold the floor?
No, you're good.
No,
this
you're
is
fine.
last
Are you
person
sure?
to touch it.
Yeah, this is until I draw?
This is the same as
Okay.
question. It just keeps lasting until.
But I have touched it anyway again.
Oh, wait.
That's what it was.
Floor. Whoever's not touching.
You're still drinking that.
What if
bud.
it's whoever
touches the floor?
Yeah.
That's
What if
horrible.
we've been getting it wrong?
What if
the whole time?
heavens too?
You just have whoever.
Hold
Just
it
have to
until
be like
The last
this.
person to touch the ceiling loses.
Is it Reece?
That's
We win,
tight.
we win that one every
no.
time.
Dog.
Oh, it's
No.
tight. Hey, go between 2 cards. Ooh,
It's
you're
not
cheating.
There
Oh,
you go. You got
he
it.
says,
You got it.
screw
Alright,
that.
you can go
That's
split
the easy way.
I'm going between cards.
Oh, that's
Do
a
you
good
guys
point.
remember-
That's a good point.
Do you guys remember what Q means? What queen means?
Could
Do
you
guys
please
remember that?
refresh my memory, Reece?
I need a refresher of the memory.
Fuck, I hate this game.
God damn it.
Ooh. Ooh.
I was being sincere too. Like, I totally
Yeah.
fucking forgot. Then it's like, oh, it's
Well,
cute.
free card 6, which is
Dumbass.
chicks, but we don't have any, so that's free.
That's a free card. We none of us drink.
My turn?
yeah.
Is it your turn, Patrick?
I wouldn't fucking know.
Ooh, fun one.
Oh, wait.
8 is mate.
8 is mate.
Yep. Cheers.
Caleb.
Ooh.
There it is. There it is.
Every
Wow.
time Patrick drinks,
So
Caleb
every
drinks.
time
vice versa.
one of you guys has to drink,
Forget it.
you guys drink every time one of you guys has to drink. So you guys
Until an 8 gets drawn again.
Yep, and then you can undo it.
Well,
or
cheers me on this time.
also you can
Oh,
use
yeah.
a king card
Yeah,
Yep.
King.
to
Then I
not
can
only
roll.
null all the mates, but also to perform a rule.
Yep.
Because a king card also can null.
Is
The way that we play.
King is rule maker?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Which I hope you don't get right now.
I hope
Thank
he gets
God.
it. Oh, so you can unmate or double
You can
mate.
unmate or you can
You
mate.
can also mate with one of us, and then all 3 of
Which
us.
means-
You know, guys,
I would
I
wanna
gotta
mate.
keep it to the theme, and I gotta mate the cheeks together.
Well, no, you have to. You can only.
Do
mate
I
with
have
one.
to mate? So I have to mate with someone.
You
You
can
guys
either
mate with
unmate with
Otherwise-
Patrick, or you can mate again with like
So-
one of
so
us,
pick
and
a
then all
cheek.
3.
Do you want your stage left or your stage right?
I'm too close to you. You can't pick me.
I gotta do Zach because
Yep, we're
me
all
and
3
Reece,
now in a line.
we've been really close because we
Yeah.
are close.
Yeah, we're.
And I don't
we're
want
like-
to.
We're the long hair homies.
You
over
got
here,
close
you
with his
know?
feet too. You've been like
I know.
intimate in that.
There's been a lot
Honestly,
of
that was
happened.
like the highlight of my day.
I didn't like the way you looked.
I
at
just
me.
had to eat right, and I'll be
4 is.
All three. We all got to drink it.
good. Well, it's weird because I always thought 4 was whores.
Fuck. That's the first time I've ever lost
Yep.
on cast.
And it also,
That's the first time I've ever lost on cast. So one thing
It's
that
always
you guys
me.
don't
It's always
know
me.
that much about me
yeah, it is.
is I play
For me.
this game a little
Also
bit
me.
differently, whereas most people would kind of just drink it.
You gotta chug it. You have to chug the King's Cup. And it's usually an amalgamation of different drinks you have to pour
Usually
in
I
based
like
on
to
a different
shotgun these
rule.
because
the
of
last
the
time I
amount
lost, they
of
had an
foam.
IPA that they put a shot of Bacardi in.
But we'll do
that
this.
jug.
Oh, I remember that.
That was awful. It was an IPA with a Bacardi Limon shot in
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Yep, that was my.
Guys, settle
King's Cup.
down.
I was not having a great time.
That's.
I was like, I can't really
That's a
taste
lot.
it, guys. I passed off. They'd be like, ugh.
Too much foam.
It's cold.
You want to try it again?
That's 3/4 about.
Do you have to finish it?
Oh,
Yeah.
for his own.
That's
he
fair.
does.
That's fair.
Yeah, for my own psyche.
That
You know, I don't have a whole lot of self-esteem.
You got it.
I think you have more than you know.
This is one of my.
I think you just like to complete a challenge, which I'm,
True.
you know, an authentic
Determination.
I think I have too much self-esteem.
If it has
Depends
been,
on the situation.
I think I literally steam from self-esteem.
If
If it pours out.
if it has been blurry at all in the last few minutes, we apologize. I just fixed it. I don't know how long it's been blurry, but I think it was only blurry for a second. I think it just refocused.
Yeah,
We'll
I think
find out.
Thank you for tuning in regardless and staying after any blurriness.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you.
And
we
are back!
thank you, Seth.
That was great unison.
That was
good.
I'm
That was
proud of you.
And we're
Yep.
back.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Reece. Wow. Well, that game was riveting. We have gone over so many different interesting conversations today, from Reese's feet becoming a crab Reece Rangoon, to the necessity of masks, to Darkwood's origins, and then always a good game of King's Cup.
You know, in all honesty, I think we haven't dove quite far enough. I think we might end up having if he's okay with it, might have a duo episode with Caleb. Like a prior interview
secondary,
again,
like a
yeah,
secondary.
in the next.
I would love to get
follow-up.
Derek and Caleb, have them both between the cheeks. And
I think that would be absolutely
really cool duo
fantastic.
podcast.
I agree.
I want to know
with
more
that
about
idea.
Derek too. That'd be so
Oh,
fun.
you guys don't even know.
Derek has a story. Shout out Oceans.
Ooh, I'm
Shout
excited.
out to Ocean.
We'll see you here sometime.
Yes, and
Yes,
thank
we
you,
will.
Oceans.
With consent, of course.
With consent.
Jesus.
We hope for your consent.
Sorry. You jumped the gun.
Shit.
Got too many rolling rocks. I apologize.
Oh my.
I own responsibility.
The camera is just.
Wow.
It was what the camera was wearing. He's got a skirt on.
Thank you all. Not only the people here, but thanks viewers. We really do appreciate you. We also appreciate Matsunami Corp, Teespring, Anchor. Thank you all. We hope to see you on
Those
the
are real
31st.
sponsors.
Yeah, no, legitimately.
Oh damn, that's great.
And of course our other real sponsors being